They're dead. They're all dead. That's empty. That chicken tractor's supposed to have 75 birds in it. They're dead. We started off with 300 birds this year. They went great through the brooder. They were great. We put them out on pasture, and we'll be lucky to take 150 birds to the butcher this year. We're done. We are so burned out on chickens that it's starting to bleed into every other aspect of our farm life. We've lost half our birds, at least. I'm almost afraid to get the count when we take them into butcher in 2 weeks. It's been rough. We've never had this bad of a chicken year before, and I don't know what to do about it. It's thousands of dollars in lost revenue. It is countless of hours that are lost that my wife and I and the kids have invested in growing these birds. And there's a whole bunch of families that could have used our food that we grew on our land to feed themselves that just aren't going to get it. I mean, we fed the raccoons. We fed them very well. The raccoons are eating soy-free, pasture-raised, free-range chicken, and they look great. That's not what we had intended. If you've been watching the channel, you know that we started this farm not as a hobby homestead, but we have this blessing of this land that came from our family, and we want to turn it into something that we can hand down to the next generation as a profitable enterprise that they can grow and use to supplement their income and just really live a good country life and afford to do it. Just handing out a whole boatload of land, especially a farm that's losing money, is a sin as far as I'm concerned. It becomes a really expensive hobby that you give to somebody, that you give to a young man or a young woman, and that's very much not fair to them. So we're trying to scale, and I think, well, I know what happened. We tried to scale our chicken operation too quickly, and we paid the price. It's okay to be ambitious, but scaling's hard. When we started out with chickens, they were our first livestock in what made us a commercial operation. We had 25 birds, and then we doubled that and tripled that, and now we're trying to do 600 birds total this year, which we won't because we've lost half of our first batch of 300. It's just not going well, and we have to ask ourselves, why are we doing this? The answer is that chicken sausage is a great mover for us. People love chicken and they love chicken sausage, and there is something to our sausage. It's awesome. I mean, we get rave reviews on it. We sold out of it super quickly last year, and as you know, with any business, to be a business, you have to have product to sell, and people have to like your product and appreciate it. So we got to make chicken sausage. Let's start out first with what isn't working. We have hills. We have a lot of hills in our part of Ohio. When I just pan around here, you can see there's a change in elevation. And that chicken tractor down there, I mean, we probably drop 4 feet of elevation, just guessing. That makes it really hard. That thing, that's the big chicken tractor. That weighs a couple 100 pounds. It's a big deal to move. With the extra weight, it's a real challenge getting up and down these hills, and that makes it hard to move, and it just makes it hard to do from a one-person standpoint. We've had a major issue with predators this year, and you can see this is, again, not only is the pasture hilly, but we've got a pasture that's bumpy. There's gaps under here that an animal can reach under. We've had a horrible time with raccoons basically reaching up under here and grabbing the chickens, and it'll rip their legs off and do a bunch of other horrible stuff that I don't need to fill you in on the details on. And we had one raccoon, the empty chicken tractor that I showed you earlier, we had a raccoon actually get inside of it due to a bump that we didn't see and we didn't seal properly and whatever, and it killed 32 chickens in one night. The other challenge we have is the pasture impact. On one hand, the chickens lay down a lot of manure, and that's a good thing because the manure is full of nitrogen from chickens. It looks bad right now, but give it 6 weeks and you'll see just green stripes running, like dark green, neon green almost, running through where the chicken tractors have been, and it will fertilize the ground and grow grass, and it'll be great. But until then, we're not going to be able to put this into production for cows and sheep, which kind of stinks because we're going to eat up about 2 acres with these chickens, and those 2 acres are going to be out of rotation for a few weeks. That's a major problem. I don't really know what to do with that. And for what we can sell beef for, does it make financial sense to sell the chicken sausage? That's what we got to find out. Like I mentioned before, Mary and I aren't getting any younger, and our kids are a super huge help, but they're going to be out of the house in just a few short years. And hopefully they move back at some point. That would be awesome to help out with the farm. But they're their own people, and they'll have their own interests and everything else, and we can't rely on that or saddle them with that if they don't want to do that. So we have to think about, how do we make it efficient for us 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 25 years from now? God willing, we're still able to do this 25 years from now. And all that starts now with the systems we do and the processes we have and whatnot. I don't think it's too crazy to think that far in advance. One of the things that we're trying to figure out how to balance is, how do we make ourselves more efficient? And I got to do a review on this because this thing is awesome. We purchased a very large kind of commercial grade chicken enclosure, instead of the smaller ones that we build. And this thing holds 150 birds. But there's a challenge with that. There's a problem. The challenge is that over a 24-foot span, with all the issues that we have with bumps on the ground and hilly terrain and all that, the enclosure will only flex so much. And we run into the same issue where we'll have this corner on the ground, and if you go down, I think this one's actually pretty well, oh no, we got a spot here. So see where Mare has shoved a feed sack under here? If I take that feed sack out, there's a hole there that I can almost fit my fist into. That's definitely a place a raccoon can get into. And we could go bigger with bigger chicken enclosures, but every time I see those on the internet, they're always out in places that are flat, that have probably pastures that used to be, tillage ground that has been flattened, rolled, etc. They're not in the foothills of the Appalachians in Ohio, where we don't have a spot of flat ground anywhere. But the biggest issue for us really has been the predators. This has been the worst year with predators I've ever had. We lost a few birds the first year we did chickens to some raccoons, and I disposed of the raccoons, and I figured that out, and it worked out just fine. I've shot 3 possums out here and 2 raccoons, and there's still more. The raccoons are so interested in what's in these things, they have like 0 interest in the traps that I've set. And I'm 40 years old. Like I said, I'm not a spring chicken. These guys are spring chickens. I'm not a spring chicken. And I've spent more nights than I care to admit in this chicken cycle, up until well past midnight, sitting out here with a flashlight and a 22, hunting raccoons. That's a young man's game. I have to get up and work in the morning, and I go to bed at like 9:30. So that's tough. It's not something that is not what I consider fun. That does not give me joy, as that lady on the whatever says. The cows give us joy. The sheep give us joy. The guardian dogs give us joy. And frankly, they're a lot easier to take care of. We sell a lot of the chicken sausage, and we enjoy eating it. It's a product that we like too, but oh my gosh, this is, it's not great, honestly. What makes this loss issue so frustrating is that I think we only lost maybe 5 birds out of 300 in the brooder, which is our best ratio ever. We're really, really good at brooding chickens, and our brooder setup that we've made in the barn has just been pretty darn awesome, and that works out great. We just can't seem to grow the darn things out without feeding the wildlife, which is a major problem. We've also done really well on the water, and that's been a major focus on the farm in general for us this year. We've been doing a lot of, we have IBCs now placed strategically with float valves that have really been helping us out with watering the cattle, where areas that we don't have pressurized water, and that has saved us so much time. On the chicken tractors, on this one that I bought, we've got tanks on it, and then those go to, if you can focus, see those feeder or those waterers right there? We've got 3 automatic waterers in this chicken tractor. And if I walk up to the other chicken tractor, we've got this setup, which is similar. So we got, 5-gallon buckets that feed into those chicken waters down there, which also works out really well. Every day, day and night, we have to come up and put feed into the chicken tractors and take feed out of the chicken tractors. These birds eat so much the Cornish crosses that if we don't take their feed out, they will eat so much and they will blow up and basically die from eating too much. They're little gluttons, right? So with this high protein feed, this 22% chicken feed, we got to take it out, and that's not great. what we're going to do in the future is we're going to change to a lower protein feed that we can just leave in 24 hours a day. That'll cut down on the work quite a bit because we won't have to take chicken feed in and out of the chicken feeders, which will be nice. Unfortunately, we bought 2 pallets, so 2 tons of the 20% feed, or 22% feed this time around, and we got to use it. That stuff ain't cheap. What does bring me joy is this gaggle of birds. So we may have lost half of our chicken flock, but our turkeys, as you can see, are doing very well. By the way, we're going to be taking pre-orders soon for Thanksgiving turkeys, so just remember that. Farming's not easy. When I started the YouTube channel, I didn't know what I was going to show. Do I show the good stuff? Do I show the bad stuff? Do I show it all? As it turns out, people think all of this is interesting. You, my viewers, not people, think all of this is interesting. It's just real life. Every day is a life and death situation on the farm. And when you buy a $10 package of chicken sausage from us, it comes with all of the ups and the downs. And I mean, seriously, we've got blood, sweat, and tears and part of our soul in this product that we sell you. It's a big deal for us. Look at these behind us. I mean, we feel very attached to these animals, even though they'll be on your Thanksgiving table. So, yeah, I mean, there's joy and there's also sorrow. We get it all on the farm, and it's just how it is. So we appreciate you being part of our journey. Check out at the end of the video, I'll post some videos of how things are going with the cows and a playlist on other things we've been improving on the farm. And we've got a lot of great content that is on the way. We've been hard at work. We haven't been slacking off. We've been so busy, I haven't been able to make videos and dealing with all the issues that I talked about before with the chickens. But we're back in the saddle. Things are going great. It'll work out well. God bless you. Be like a turkey. And we'll talk to you soon.